everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome again to another painting tutorial. Today I'll be painting some rock wall or stone wall, and I've done this in the past, maybe in 2020 or 2019. And for tutorial, I think I've done this once or twice. So I'm gonna link in the description box below my previous tutorials so that you can see, how I did my, first stone walls paintings and compare them to how I'm gonna do it now. All right. I'm also excited to see if I can still do the same subjects. All right. So today I'm using a fairly large canvas. This is size I forgot. This is 24 by 28. Uh or sorry, is this like 18 by 24-inch canvas board? So you can use a fairly small or relatively bigger canvas if you want for yourselves. It's up to you, really. We'll be doing a wall, so there's really no problem as to the shape of the canvas because the wall will be more focused on the details of the stones. We will not be painting a wall with the backgrounds and the sky and all of that. We will be painting on the details on the wall, all right? And I really love painting this because I love painting rocks and I love painting irregularly shaped objects and subjects. So the colors that I'll be using for today's painting tutorial will be listed in the description box below, and I'll be mentioning them now. I haven't really prepared them, but I'm going to show you. We have yellow ochre. Okay. We have, of course, oxide black. We cannot really dispense with that color. We have purple. Okay. Then we have burnt sienna. We have orange. And we have, of course, a huge gallon of titanium white. So let's begin now. I'm going to do first the main or the biggest block of color, which will be on the grayish brownish side of things, all right? Because that will serve as the color of the cement or concrete. I'm not really being technical about this one. All I know is that I'm painting a wall or stone wall, and as long as you don't use like super colorful colors, uh, we're going to make it. You don't have to be very, very specific as to the color or the lightness of the gray color. It's gonna make sense later. This will only be the base, okay? The underpainting for everything. Okay, so I'm actually just preparing the colors now because I immediately started without actually preparing the colors. It's not very usual for me to not do the coloring first. Anyway, so I'm gonna use a fairly big brush to get the backgrounding quite fast. So again, I'm gonna mix my white, titanium white. Okay, I hope you can see it here, but you probably won't appreciate it because of the other colors that are present. But I'm just gonna show you. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna mix my white and burnt sienna and black. Okay, maybe more white and black. It should be a little more on the grayish brownish things or side of things. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna get more white because I really want this to be more gray than brown. Okay, so I'm just gonna use this to cover everything with this color. Now, I really don't want to use a thick amount of paint anymore, especially for tutorial purposes, because the waiting time is getting a little bit longer than usual. I I believe you heard that sound like there was some sort of drilling going on like next door or upstairs. I mean, it's already late at night, so they should not be making any more noise, right? Okay. So I'm applying it fairly, like not so thick, all right? Because again, I don't want to wait too much for this to dry before I proceed to doing the bricks or the stones. Okay. That's why I'm applying more water. All right. So I actually turned off my microphone while I was doing this because I was expecting more noise coming from upstairs and maybe my neighbor next door. So I didn't want to cause any more unnecessary noise while I'm doing this because you don't have to listen to those things. Okay, so I applied my background quite thinly. Again, my reason is just um, I don't want to wait for too long before this dry up. This dries up. I mean, um, you can always make your background thick. It's really up to you. But since I'm doing a tutorial and it's really not that it's time sensitive, but as much as possible, we want to do the demonstration quite fast. Okay. Okay. Now I'm gonna use my black to show you the sketch or to sketch the bricks or the stones. I keep interchanging bricks and stones, but they're actually stones in the shape of bricks. So they're more rectangular or squarish in shape. Okay, so I'm gonna use my black to um, to shape it. I mean, to sketch it. So, I'm gonna do my first right here. I'm going quite like random. You know what I really like about this is the unevenness of the shapes. I'm really a huge fan of painting irregularly shaped subjects. I don't know why. I feel like they look more beautiful when they look so not, perfectly shaped. Um, I just love the shape of irregular things. I don't know why. It's just me, maybe, or my addiction to painting nature, because when you paint nature, nature is usually, if not always, they are usually very much irregular, and I'm very like excited every time I paint irregular subjects. And I haven't mentioned yet, but we will be using our palette knife. So get ready with your palette knife. I also love painting using palette knife because you are more free when you use a palette knife. You're just allowing the knife to do the job for you, which, makes things much easy for me. Okay. Okay, and then the last row. Then I'm gonna add a little more so that it doesn't look like it ends there. Doesn't end there. It's like a uh, continuous wall, but we're cropping it. Okay, so it will look like there are still more bricks down here. There should actually be more bricks down here. Okay, perfect. I love it. All right, now that the sketch is done, I'm just so excited to do the underpainting for each of them. So let's start first with the brownish color. So I'm gonna get my brown. I'm not washing my brush. I'm just mixing it with my black as well and white. Okay, more black. Okay, and then I'm gonna start coloring this brick. Okay, and also this. I'm not very careful now since we're doing the bricks already, and I'm just so excited. Yes. Okay, this as well. Okay, so I'm just you know applying this randomly. So I think I'm gonna turn off my microphone now. It's very noisy outside. Okay, so I turned on my microphone again. Okay, so I'll be getting. Um, I forgot that I'll be using a little bit of primary blue. So I'm gonna get my primary blue now. And then my purple. All right. So now, using my purple and blue, I'm gonna get my white and then mix my purple and my blue, okay? And then mix it with black to tone down the colors. We won't be using any pure, like pure yellow or pure brown. Everything will be toned down, okay? I'm adding more black. So it's like purplish, bluish color, but really toned down. And I'll be using this on, okay, maybe more blue, on some stones. Okay, I'll be adding more black. I feel like it's not really toned down. We should be toning it down. Okay, I'm gonna apply it right here. You can add water so that you spread the paint quite nicely. All right. I'll be using the same color over here. Right, like that. I'm gonna add more black this time. I'm gonna use this color over here. Okay, like that. Right here. Okay, now I'll be using a more gray color. So I'll be adding white to my black so that it's gray. And then I'm gonna color right here. It should be more gray, but since I did not wash my brush, there is some sort of bluish colors, but it's fine. Okay. Okay. That. And I'm gonna use the same color down here. Okay, and then using my gray color, I'll be adding more brown. So this time it will be more dark. Okay, yeah, like this. And add a little bit of blue. Okay. In all honesty, you can simply mix whatever color that you want. Okay, it's just that these are more earthy colors because they're neutral. They have been uh, toned down. Yes. Right. Okay, and then I'll be using the same gray color right here. So some sketch lines I'm already removing by painting over them because we won't be needing them. Okay. Okay, I forgot. I need to get my burnt sienna. That's black. Okay, like this. Okay, and now let's get our yellow ochre. Okay. Let me just, because I'm also protecting the, what they call the floor. I don't want any paint to get uh, to touch my floor. Okay. So using my yellow ochre, I'm gonna mix it with white. And simply because we don't wash our brush, the other colors remaining on my paintbrush will mix with this and it will tone down the colors. And, okay, that's too bright, I guess. So I'm gonna have to. So this one is more of yellowish color. Okay. Right here as well. And I forgot. I forgot. We need to make this area make a little bit bluish, purplish. Okay. It's nice. Also right here. Okay. And I'm just gonna use this color for this brick. Okay. Just a few more. Okay, so right here. I keep checking my microphone because um, a lot of times I would turn it off when I hear an unnecessary noise. So I'm scared that I might forget to turn it on. Just a few more, just two more. I think this requires as well patience from your end. A lot of patience. Not only um, not only not only our activities or our brushstrokes are repetitive, there are also like a lot. You know what? Very tedious. If you don't have that much energy, you can simply rest, go back to that, maybe get a cup of tea or drink water. Again, monotony might bore you, but I'm really not bored doing this one. I'm just so excited to do this one, actually. All right, so I'm going to allow this to dry. We will be doing the detailing later, but now we're going to do the spacing and shadowing, and for that, we'll be using pure black. Okay, so I already ran out of black, so I'm just going to get some more. Okay, and maybe I'll be using a relatively smaller brush for this uh, part of the painting process. So I'm gonna dab onto my black and start identifying where the shadows are gonna go. So basically the sketch that I did not paint over, those are already the shadow or the unlit part of this painting. However, we need to re-emphasize them. This time with intention. Initially, we were just doing the sketch, we were not really doing the shadows with intention, but we're just going to retain some of them, okay? And we're going to re-identify them by thickening or removing some areas. If they don't apply, then we remove them. So I'm going to start from the bottom all the way up. All right, like that. Okay. I'm adjusting this area. I feel like there's no space for shadow. Okay. Now we move to this section. Okay, like that. And here as well. So I'm gonna create. We're not yet detailing, but I feel like I need to do this. Okay, like that. Okay, this one, I need to thicken this part. Okay. Okay. I find it really, really relaxing doing this since it's repetitive and I don't have to talk too much while I'm, showing you how I'm painting it because it's repetitive. I love it. Right. Almost there. I love this one. I forgot. Gonna add a little more detailing. Mm. Mm. Right. That's nice. Okay. Just gonna add more details. Okay. Okay, for now, that would be it. Okay. We will go back to that later. If I see some more detailing that need to be done. Okay. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna wash my brush out. Now, I'm gonna use a bigger brush. I'm gonna adjust the size of my brush. I'm gonna dab onto my gray or white. Okay, you will always get the gray color you're not, if you have this like mine. Um, the colors are already contaminated by each other. So I'm gonna use some dry brushing technique and I'm gonna start creating some details on some areas. I'm gonna start, okay, right here. I actually don't want to start right here. I want the big part. And I'm gonna do a little bit of dry brushing technique. Okay. Uh, okay. And I'm gonna make some outlines. Okay. Then I'm gonna get light brown and white. Actually, more white because again, we're trying to do some details now. Okay. Maybe here. Okay. So we're doing some detailing. Patience is key, really. You have to be very patient, and it would be an advantage if you enjoy things like this. Me, I really appreciate things like this because I don't have to think too much. If I just want to paint, then I'll be able to do it no matter what. Okay, then again, let's create some patterns, interesting patterns. We will be using our palette knives later, but I want to start with the brush, okay? Because it also creates some textures that the palette knife may not be able to achieve, okay? That gonna do some detailing over here, right here as well. Okay. Some more gray. I'm gonna add a little bit of blue. I can't talk properly. Okay, it's nice. Okay, and we'll do some markings. Okay, I'm gonna get my blue, randomly applying some blue colors. Then my yellow ochre as well. Okay, here. Okay, like that. Gonna add some random blue colors and purplish. Okay, let me just adjust my sitting because I am seated on the floor. All right. Wow. This is going to take us more time, but I really love it. I'm enjoying it so far. Right here. Mhm. Right here as well. Okay. Right here. The purple is too strong that like that. I'm gonna get more white because I already ran out of it. Okay, brush out. Okay, I'm gonna get my light brown. I haven't touched it. And mix it with black so that it's muted brown. These gray colors. I'm gonna add some grayness. Okay, I have it. Okay. I already forgot how to use my hands directly on the canvas. Before it's very automatic. Now I feel like I'm avoiding, touching my paints. So I'll be adding some gray, brownish grayish colors, okay, here and there to really add that natural markings on our stones. Okay, like that. Gonna get my black and apply some random dark colors. And I need some more blue. using some blue. We're gonna mix it with black so that it's dark blue. Okay. Also here, some markings. Okay. I'm gonna add purple and black. Okay. And some white. Okay, and then I'm highlighting it down here already. Quite random. You're right. Okay, now using this white color, I'm gonna go around certain areas for highlighting. So I'm gonna go under this stone, highlight it very subtle, a very subtle highlight. So I'm going, in different directions when I apply this to really create those natural looking patterns on bricks or stones. These are not bricks, okay? I mean, like seriously speaking, these are not bricks, these are stones. Bricks are more of like made of clay. These ones are stones, okay? Okay. Then, using some white, I'm going to dry brush along certain areas in between the bricks. This is to really give light to some areas. And we won't be doing this to each and every section. I'm getting my blues again. Oops. Okay, this is looking nice already. Really looking nice. But you have to be patient. Okay. I'm using my yellow ochre to apply some yellowness to some of the stones. Not all of them will get that color. Okay, only some. I'm gonna wash my brush out. Maybe I'm gonna use a smaller brush again. Gonna get my black and tiny bit of white to grade down. And I'm gonna create some gray applications in some areas. Water it down so that not everything will be pure white. Okay. So now we can create some markings on some rocks. Then I'm just gonna highlight some areas. Okay, and then some light brown again. You know what? It's like, sorry, it's like an abstract piece, but it makes sense, you know? You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to explain this one. Abstract pieces, you need some sort of paragraph right beside the artwork so that you understand what's the meaning of that. But when it comes to this kind of work, it's almost abstract as to how you do it, but intentional, really intentional. You don't really intend to do an abstract piece, but the way you do it, it's like doing an abstract. You know what I mean? I hope I'm making sense. Now I'm applying some dark browns. Okay, my neighbor is so noisy. I can hear like the door is being slammed. Okay. So the next step that I'll be doing will be the palette knife, okay? So I'm gonna use my palette knife now. You can definitely use any palette knife that you want for yourself. I'm just gonna use a smaller one so that I can control it more. Okay, this one. So for the palette knifing, I'm gonna use my brown, okay? And I'm gonna mix it with black and yellow, everything, and then white. Okay, you don't have to perfectly mix the colors. Just allow the paint to be there. And I'm gonna start using this maybe here. Okay, there should be more black. Okay, maybe my palette knife is super dirty. That's why, like that. You can you can make it as as rustic looking as you want. Um, it's just nice to do this very freely. Okay. Okay, let me check. Okay, this looks nice, but I think I will add some more detailing. Okay, I'm gonna add some more. I'm gonna lighten this part. So I'm gonna apply some watered down white right here on this stone, making it look more um, uneven. Okay, like this. And using some more gray. And I'm gonna do a little bit of depth right there. Let me check. I really love this one. Yeah, I need more white. And using white, pure white, I'm gonna have to make some more markings on this. And I'm also dry brushing using white on some areas, okay, that need to be highlighted. I'm gonna create some depth and indentations on some areas. All right, let me check. This looks so nice. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm gonna glaze using my black. Okay. We need to darken some areas so that we give this depth. Okay. I'm gonna water down my black, and I'm gonna use that water down black to shade, all right, on some areas to give it more 3D effect. Remember to water it down so that you can smudge it. And you can darken some areas as well. Right. I love it. Okay, now I want to get my white again. And I'm gonna slap some more texture. So the tooth of the canvas actually pick up the paint. So it also helps, or they also help in creating some texture without you having to really work for that. Okay, now I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna try to use the black paint using my palette knife so that I create some black or dark markings as well. You balance it very nicely by applying some white and then applying some black, because contrast is very necessary when it comes to painting dimensional objects and realistic subjects. Okay, check. Nice. I really love it. Okay. And then using some white, I'm just gonna go and like lighten. Okay, this is very nice. Right. I love this one. I keep saying that and I keep doing some final touches because I really, really love it. And I really truly like enjoy it. So I'm gonna lighten this portion. Right. Okay, so using white, I'm just gonna do a little bit more detailing because it is important. Right? It's very nice. Okay. I really love this one. Okay, so I'm gonna sign this now and I'm gonna get my black and I'm gonna sign right here. Feel like it's gonna form part of you know, the wall. Okay, and we're finished. So I hope you enjoy that one because I really did enjoy that one. And I hope you paint along with me as mentioned during my intro. I'm going to link in the description box below some similar tutorials, I mean, my wall or stone paintings. And I hope you paint along with me using one of those tutorials. So see you in my next one. And I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye, guys. Love you.